been pretty slow here lately. Had a pretty wet week last week. In the video here today, you'll see this 4-in-1 bucket I went and picked up. It's from the other day. This is a John Deere 4-in-1. Of course, it's already filthy dirty as it should be. These buckets, I had one of these at one time for my 289 and 299 Caterpillar. It was a cat brand. I don't know if there's much difference in any of them. You can see Deere's got this set up if you want to run your top con off of it. It's got the places for your top con, which they've come a long ways to these skid steers. What they can do on jobs, you know, because these things are about like a little dozer. You know, this machine here, it's 105 horsepower, I think, 105, 106 horsepower. It's probably weighing over 13 with the weight kit on it and the back bumper, so it's got some tractive effort for sure. So we had a lot of gravel come in this week, and I try to keep the log yard in like where we park equipment. Of course, this is my aunt's car. I like to keep everything nice and neat and graveled. Hopefully next week we'll get a couple more loads in. We had 4 brought in yesterday. I only had 1 dropped off back here because I like to keep this with road rock instead of 2-inch. You can see over there the gravel's a little finer over there where the Mac's parked at, but I need to get all this graveled. I like to keep things nice and neat and graveled. And like at the log yard up here, you know, when it gets wet and the trucks come in and out like they do here this last week loading real heavy because the yard's about cleaned up where all the walnut and oak was. It'll mash that gravel down out of sight. So on a good yard, you just got to keep reapplying that gravel constantly. So most of this up here, I don't really get too in-depth about trying to spread it. I just spread it with the bucket. I believe I had Jason dump three of the loads of this 2-inch right here, and I just kind of spread it where needed. You always need rock on these yards. I mean, it's no matter your log yard, you've always got to keep reapplying rock. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully next week we can get 3 or 4 more loads of 2-inch, a couple loads of 1-inch road rock. Even this over here, like, you know, because we were pretty full up on logs here 2 months ago, and they've got it all cleaned up. And this is the great thing about a yard, because when it gets wet like it is, they can always haul off our yard. And think about that in the terms of what your logs are worth. You know, your logs all of a sudden have a little higher value when they're accessible at any given time, no matter what the weather. They're here. So I had a little bit excess yesterday, and I want to try to gravel this out through here, at least 12 to 15 foot out in the hayfield here. That way we can start rowing up some oak and walnut over in here when we have them on the yard. Because anymore, you know, the yard gets full, and we need the room. And I'm not so sure in the future we might not go a little further out into the hayfield here and gravel more of this, because our pallet piles are jam-packed full. We started hauling off the pallet last week. So finally cashing in on 401k, but right now that's when that stuff is it's a good time to move it. You know, it's wet. Nobody can get any logs out. The mills are crying for logs, especially these little pallet mills that only keep about enough to run for a week to 10 days at any given time. So when you're sitting on 100,000+ feet of pallet material, all of a sudden you're looking pretty good. But you know, some of these logs, we've been holding on to them since late last summer, so it's a good time to start liquidating them. So hopefully this week we'll haul 6 to 10 more loads out of here. We hauled 6 loads on Tuesday, and it really didn't even put much of a dent in this pile down here. We got some sycamore here. We need to, it's getting late enough in the year, we were going to try to put together an order with some of that stuff there, but we're not going to be able to find any more of that we need. Same with that little dab of ash in there. We've always got kind of a good deal on ash, but this time of year it starts getting hot. They're already calling for 90-degree weather starting Monday. So it's going to go right from spring to summer for us, which I absolutely hate summer. You guys know that. Logging's rough in the summer for us. I'm a fat kid. I don't like to be out there lugging a saw around sweating. But a lot of pallet. Things get wet, things get slow. You can always kind of fall back on this. Yeah, you're not going to get rich, but it's all about a cash flow. You kind of keep that cash flow kind of slowly coming in with your pallet material. Again, it's not like it's a big money-making endeavor, because pallet grade is the lowest grade of logs we have. And no, we don't have a pulp market. No, we don't have a chip market. So many people ask. The answer is always the same on that? No, we don't have those. We don't have a lot of the good markets like they do back in the eastern part of the United States with chip and pulp and stuff like that. It's not here, which Southwest Missouri to me is not really timber country. Our oak is fair at best at any given time. Mainly like we don't have red oak, what I call red oak. We have black oak, which is red oak's ugly step cousin. Our white oak is stave material at best. At best. Usually there's all kinds of issues with our white oak, like up here. That's mainly quarter saw logs. That's what that is. They're all bigger white oak because they can actually quarter saw. Those are actually headed to the northern part of the United States. They're getting shipped out of here. They're just sitting right there for holding. I'll have to load flatbeds with those. So a lot of things happen on this yard. It's neat. I like the dynamics of a log yard. I like merchandising logs. I like putting together special orders. We've got some stuff over here down the yard. Of course, I mentioned in the last video about some coffee bean. We got some coffee bean, and I've even got some locust down here that just a small mill. The gentleman's kind of wanting it for some odds and ends, some knickknacks. I don't mind doing stuff like that if it's somebody you can know and trust will actually come and get the logs instead of call you up like, yeah, we're interested in logs, and they're just kind of fishing. I'm not into that. My advice to a lot of people that want to call and fish, don't waste your time or mine. But I do enjoy kind of selling some logs to smaller operators. It helps them out. They can come here. If they let me know what they want, we can kind of piece something together because it's usually small volumes, a couple thousand feet at the most. We can load them. Some instances I will deliver them, but not usually. Not usually. So that's the gist of what's been going on because we haven't been logging much. Just odds and ends. Kevin and I have been maintaining equipment, filters, grease, service, things like that. Things that got to be done that are easily neglected when you're busy. So weeks like this are always a good week to get to that. Guys, enjoy the video. It's not much of a video, but I feel like I've neglected you for a while because we haven't put a lot of stuff out. So hopefully this week when the weather gets better, I know we've got some finish work to do on the last job. We got to do some road maintenance, put in some culverts, then reseed. And then hopefully maybe at the end of this week, we'll get on another job of logs and start cutting some timber. So enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week. Bunch of rain. It's wet. We haven't been making a lot of videos lately just kind of because of the weather. And we're not logging anywhere right now. We're kind of held up. We're waiting to move to the next job. It's wet. So my Uncle Kevin and I have been doing a lot of machine maintenance. We did haul 20+ thousand feet of pallet in off the 401k Tuesday, which we didn't even hardly put a dent in 401k. And right now is why we have the 401k, because we're getting ready to haul another 20+ thousand feet off of it. But what we did do today is I ordered a 4-in-1 bucket. I'd had one before on the old Cat 289 and 299. But, and I bought this more or less just for myself. This will probably never go to a logging job, but for keeping the driveway and the log yard, all the gravel and everything in good shape. These are pretty handy, and you can do a lot with them. They're handy buckets. At one time I thought those are silly, but they're actually pretty versatile. And so we're getting ready to fire up the 333. We've got it here at the house because we've just been doing some cleanup, some odds and ends. Kevin cleaned the log yard up this weekend, trimmings. So just like I said, a week odds and ends, and we went to Mac, got a air filter, cab light covers for the Mac, got some oil and such. So just a week of maintenance. I don't know how impressed I am with this thing yet. It just seems, I was at Deere earlier picking up that bucket, and like I told my salesman, I don't think this one's the same machine the last one was. Again, maintenance, replacing a leaky hose on this XHD grapple, which I've got this thing up for sale because I also ordered a new grapple Tuesday. I ordered a Harleman manufacturing grapple. And a few of you guys probably know what Harleman manufacturing, their skid steer attachments. They're made right there in El Dorado. They are super, super beefy. Super beefy. Super strong. I don't want to say they're indestructible, but they're probably pretty close. So the XHD, we've rebuilt it a couple times. It's got new cylinders now. It'll have new hydraulic hoses when we're done with it this week. There's times we use it a lot. There's just I don't know. I've wanted another one for a while, and the Harleman's just a little better deal. Get uncoupled here. Now, we greased this thing yesterday. We're going to grease the Mac here in a bit. Just grease the Serco, get it ready to go. You can see the 401k is still really, really big. But it's times like now when it's too wet to get in the woods, we can still do something. That's why we got it. Okay, we're coupled up here. Try to run this thing. See, just gotta, like I said, I bought it just for kind of keep taking care of the yard. We'll run it here, just kind of smooth out where I run the skid steer. Track this up. My Uncle Kevin, he's learning how to run all this, so it's all kind of new to him. We can backtrack this, make it look pretty. Just, like I said, it's kind of handy for my own self. Not so much to take on the job sites. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but got a little deep there. And again, we're just playing around. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go out here, we're just going to load some of the junk, get it out of here. It's been kind of lingering around the house for a while. We'll put it on the little skid steer trailer. We'll put it on the little Ranger trailer that I pull the Ranger with. It's behind my 4Runner. Yeah, there's the Ram. The bed's getting made for it, which I meant to do a video here a week ago on it, but haven't yet, so we'll get to that. And you can kind of hear and see how wet it is, and this is just here at my house. Skid steer. It's definitely nice having my Uncle Kevin back working with us. Now, if you guys are like me, junk sometimes accumulates places and you're not even sure how it gets there. But it gets here, whether it be friends or family members, and I'm not real big on junk. So, which, yeah, some of that's saw chain. So that part is mine. But washing machines, refrigerator, which I think that's refrigerators from my Rockville house. We're just going to grab onto it with this thing, or try to in theory. Try to get over here where you can see. Maybe we can get it, maybe we can't. We kind of did, but didn't. So this might be a two-hand. So the biting force of these 4-in-1 buckets are pretty impressive. That's an old refrigerator there. So we're just going to pick it up and put it on this trailer. I should probably be using the forks to do this, and I know it'd be easier, but we're going to do this anyway. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.